What's up, everybody? Welcome to Thursday. This is Mr. Straight Facts Show. I am Mr. Straight Facts. Today, we just going to get in on some things that happened to the Democrats today. Now, I have been talking about this for, I don't know, years, but I, hear in and out about, what our military can and cannot do. I've been talking to you about how Donald Trump has tried to turn this country into a dictatorship and get away from a democracy. The things that he's been doing has been that way. Luckily, there has been some things that the Democrats have made a halt in what he's been doing, and thank God some of the Republicans have started to witness, and I ain't talking about leaders, I'm talking about Republican MAGA people. Some of them have begun to witness, due to parts of their loyal person, Marjorie Taylor Greene, that they can separate from this orange turd and not cause a apocalypse. But she kind of like broke away from him and basically called him a traitor, because the definition of a traitor is exactly who Donald Trump is to this country. I've been screaming it from the rooftops. Marjorie Taylor Greene finally has come over to that particular point. Baby, she didn't say it outright. I say it outright. He's a traitor, been a traitor. When he decided to do January 6th, he should have been put into jail a long time ago. They shouldn't have took 2 years, 3 years, 4 years to do anything. This man should have been behind bars the first couple weeks that he was out. He should have been arrested and went through trial while he was arrested. There's no way in hell that they should have let that man free for as long as they did. He never went to jail. That I blame on all American leadership, Democrats and Republicans. It was their fault that this man is in jail. It wasn't in jail. It's their fault that this man is in the office right now. Had they done their job, Democrats, Merrick Garland, all of y'all, if y'all had done your fucking jobs, this man would be under a fucking jail cell and charged for a lot of the shit that he did. Instead, you sat back and gave him white privilege. You sat back and realized that you got some dirt in your closet, so you was going to give him some type of grace. You sat back, Merrick Garland, took your fucking time and decided to charge this man whenever the fuck you felt like it, and it's going to be political. Fuck all that. Law is law. Gives a damn about being political. And you guys need to tell the American people that this document that you have that's not law, and it's just a memo saying that you can't charge a sitting president for breaking the law. This man is out here killing people in boats, and you guys have no fucking clue who the hell they are. He's killing families and possibly generations of innocent fucking fish farmers, and you're sitting on your ass sitting around president, get rid of that fucking memo. I don't care what president, black, white, future, Latin, Asian, out Indian, I don't give a fuck who it is. Future presidents should never be able to break the laws without talking to the House, going through the Senate, and then making a decision. We are not in a threat, so he cannot make the decisions that he's making unless it goes through the House and the Senate. And he can't fund this bullshit without the House. I don't know why you guys are subverting the law. I know the Republicans are doing it, but don't act like this man isn't breaking laws. Democrats, as soon as you get into office, as soon as we elect your ass in, the first fucking thing you need to do is everybody who followed these fucking orders, every last one of them, from Todd Blanche to Pam Bondi to Cockeye Cass Patel, you need to start an investigation immediately. Don't give us this shit that no, we don't want no grace period. We don't want no year, 2 year. We want their asses to be charged day of. As soon as they walk their asses up out of the position, arrest their ass and take them through the case. None of this get to go home and talk to your lawyer. No, take your ass to prison. You are a threat to this country. No more gaslighting. And if you can't do that, Democrats, get your ass up out of office so we can put people in there that can. And anybody running for those positions, y'all need to be speaking that type of language. If you're going to get my vote, that's the type of language you're going to have to speak. You're going to have to man up, woman up, and go after people, no matter whether Republican, Democrat, independent, dog, cat, I don't care what the fuck it is. Anything breaking the law after this piece of shit human being, you need to be very vigilant on that. Because if us Americans are out here getting our asses shot over shoplifting and getting our asses beat down because we're driving while black, I'll be damned if these people can break fucking huge laws and get a grace period, get to go home and chill out with their family. There are people who look like me that are in a grave for doing way less than these white people have been doing. than these criminals have been doing, whether they white, black. There's a black lady right now going through court or something like that for doing something illegal as one of the House or Senate or whatever the position she's in. I saw it today. It's like 5 of them. I'm not saying they're guilty. I'm just saying is they got to go through the process and find out whether they're innocent or guilty. You guys have been letting these congressmen and women skate. And it's because you're dirty too to some degree. It's like the pot calling the kettle black. We understand that if you ain't going after people fervently and you guys are lawyers, it tells us one thing, that you guys are just as bad. And therefore, you rather let him or her go than to bring out your own skeletons. And we American citizens are sick of all that shit. Bring it all to the top. When Democrats or Republicans are always saying, oh, there's mostly Democrats doing it. So get them. I don't give 2 shits. I don't care who it is. If they've done it, charge them. If you got the evidence, put them in jail. It is what it is. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? So that's the way I feel about this shit. I'm fed up to hear with the bullshit, the jargon, the here's what I can say. Fuck all that. Tell us the truth. I don't want to hear what you have rewritten so that you can say it. If there's something you can't say because of laws, I get it. But just hear what I can say shit. Sick of it. Tell me what exactly is going on. And the things you can't tell us, well, I can't tell you this or certain things because legally I'm bound. Okay. But don't tell me here's what I can say, because to me that tells me you're hiding something. And if you don't tell us that that something is like going to put you behind bars, or that something is confidential or classified information, then we're not accepting that shit. So when you say, here's what I can say, keep that shit to yourself until you can say, here's the truth. Here's the facts. That's what we want to hear. Here's the facts. Here's the truth. Not hear what I can say. Leave that shit in your throat. Leave it down in here somewhere. We don't want to hear that shit come out your mouth. Not at all. That shit is trash. That shit is saying, I can lie to you. I can't tell you the truth. If you can't tell us the truth, keep your fucking lips closed. Just mumble that shit. I'd rather hear that than to hear you open your fucking lips and say, here's what I can say. That's trash. To me, it is. As a person who loves facts, whether good or bad, I'd rather know the truth than your lying ass telling me some shit that you can say. All right. Now, today, what came out, or at least the video has probably been out since I think the 18th, that they're really responding to is the Democrats saying what I have been saying for years, and other content creators have been saying for at least a year or so. When we realized that Donald Trump in Project 2025, that got into office, going to try and become Hitler Jr. Okay? People say, oh, don't say Hitler, fuck you. I'm saying Hitler because that's what he's trying to be. Right? But the reality is that there's been some kinks in it. He's starting to lose a little power. Don't put it past me. I'm not one of those people that get excited and get ahead of my skis. Not until the Wicked Witch of the West is dead. I am not going to stop sitting here acting like this man ain't going to continue doing his dirt some other way. Because any kind of demon is trying his best to find out who he can throw or she can throw under the bus to get themselves out of trouble. Jeffrey Epstein didn't end up dead just because he was just wanting to die. He ended up dead because a lot of these people around him were either threatening him or took him out. This is a dude that's all about himself. This is a dude that saw people screaming and crying and saying, leave me alone, it hurts, and he kept going. This motherfucker don't care about nobody but himself, and he gonna kill himself over somebody else? Hell no. I don't believe it. You got to give me, when was he suicidal? Tell me, when did he become suicidal? This man went through prison last time and got skated free. You didn't have nothing on him that you didn't have on him the first time. And he had evidence on just about the same people he had before that let him go that he had this time. So I don't believe the man took himself out. He had too much. He had too much to get himself out. He could have threw Donald Trump under the bus and he would have got out. They would have gave him less years. All he had to do was throw 3-4 big people. And it'd have been a wrap. He would have got like 3 years and they would have got 15, 20 each. threw his black book in there, it would have been a wrap. He didn't do that. That tells you he probably was planning to, and he ended up dead. A narcissistic, pedophile rapist. You think he gave up his life for what? For what? With all that power and money still? He would have fought to the death. He would have been in trial forever, spending all his money trying to get everything changed. He done it before. He could have did it again. He wouldn't have gave himself up like that. Nah, I don't believe it. It's no proof of it. He's never done it before. He got arrested before. He didn't kill himself. He got a sweetheart deal. Now what? Just saying. So this man, when you think about it, Donald Trump, in a sense, is out here falling apart because he's losing left and right, saying egregious stuff. In the past few weeks, this man, since at least the last week or so, since he lost with the House and the Senate, the last few days or so, I guess, through the House and the Senate, he thought he was going to win. He got his ass handed to him. Only one person actually agreed with him not to have these Epstein files released. And there was some little dipshit in Louisiana. Mr. Talk Beauregard, that type of dude, the dude who talked like that. That dude, I say, Your Honor, I say, that dude is the one who stood out, dipshit. He did. Everybody else went up against Donald Trump, and then Donald Trump just said, I gave them permission. No, you trying to claim power. They said no to you. And now that they can say no to you and not really get hurt, it's kind of opening up the floodgates. Open up the floodgates that it took, and I hate to say this shit, it took Marjorie Taylor Greene for these men to grow a testicle. Marjorie Taylor Greene, the Jewish space laser, QAnon, non-believing in shootings in schools, harassing people who went through horrific situations, and she's like, oh, it was fake. Miss Alex Jones loving, just batshit crazy Marjorie Taylor Greene. That's the one who stood up against Donald Trump. None of these men grew a testicle and could do an ounce of what she had to do. Oh, wait a minute. I take it back. Thomas Massie. But hey, Thomas Massie, you weren't running anymore. You decided to stop. I'm not going to run next year. Then you grew a pair. Your testicles started to grow hair back on. But before, no, you were neutered. Either that, you pushed them back up. But at that point, you were just straight wussy. Then out of nowhere, they dropped. Hair started to grow. And then she jumped in. But you went along with this bullshit until you decided to quit. And that's your whole MO. And I'm thankful for what you're doing. But the Republicans' whole MO has been, I sit back and do nothing. It took this woman to step up. This is why I know a woman needs to be president. Because all of these dudes were wussies. All of them fell in line. She was the only one that stood out. No, I don't think she should be the president. Don't get it twisted. I'm just saying on both sides of the aisle. The only reason we are where we are is because women stood up and did something. Men were a part of it, but women started it. That's leadership. That's leadership. Whether you like it or not. And by judging by these mediocre, milquetoast white dudes that's been running this damn country, it tells you right now, they trash. I don't think we should ever have another one for a long ass time. It should be like women and people of color. These milquetoast white dudes that have no freaking like mentality worth a damn. They just, oh, I'm just white and it's just right. No, you suck at this. You suck at this. Who do we have before? Ever since Ronald Reagan, dipshit. Dude didn't know his right hand from his left hand by the end of doing what he was doing. They loved him some Ronald Reagan. He was a piece of shit. Was horrible. I know people are like, oh, I still love him. No, fuck him. I don't care if he was an actor. Terrible. George Bush Sr. Idiot. Son. Super duper idiot. Then Donald Trump. Slow. Special ed. We had our very first Special Olympic team president. Donald Trump is slow. You know, he wore a helmet, chin strap, and a mouth guard as a kid, just so he can get out of bed. You know it. 100%. The man can't spell worth a damn. He can't talk worth a damn. But somehow, that rich daddy gave him money. You know, if Donald Trump was broke, he'd be sipping steak through a straw. You know he's slow. The only reason he's gotten where he's gotten, not because of any kind of merit, it's been money and power, which his dad gave him. He has had money and has lost it every time he's gotten it. His bets have always been failures. The only time he wins is the same way Jeffrey Epstein won. Doing what? Messing with children, raping young girls, grabbing women by their vaginas, not paying people that did an awesome job, but he'd find a scratch somewhere, wouldn't pay them. Many of those people went broke. Some of them unalived themselves, families torn apart. 6 casinos. Monday, according to Jeffrey Epstein, telling Michael Wolff, money laundering through multi-million-dollar homes for the Russians. This dude has been an absolute fuck up since he popped out of his mama. And in this country, we celebrate mediocre white men. For what? I don't fucking know. And they chastise people who are smart, like white men who are smart. Believe it or not, Bill Clinton was a scholar. They talk shit about him. Why? Because he's actually an educated white man. Now, he may still be amongst these, pedos. I don't know. I'm just giving what I know now. Put people in office that actually give a damn about the people. I'm getting tired of the whatever type of race they are and all that shit, whatever sex it may be. The right person that should be in there is the person who knows what the hell they're doing. If you can't govern shit, get the fuck out. If you ain't never governed nothing, leave. Republicans don't govern well at all. 100%. It ain't because I don't like Republicans. It's because it's a fact. Go look at any time they tried to govern anything in the United States government. Go see. Now, they may do something in their states or whatever, being a governor, don't know. But as far as running the presidency, go back. Look, see what's one last Republican that governed the country, that actually ran it like a machine. You will be hard-pressed to find one. Hard-pressed. Now, thank you, John Brown, for the $2. I appreciate the donation. We're going to get into what they literally had to say about, well, first of all, we want to see what's the big uproar. The Democrats, I think it was either 8 of them, maybe 8 or 6 of them, whatever it is. A number of Democrats, well-respected, came out with a video because they're military men and women. Came out with a video, about 30-second video, I believe. And they're telling the military that you don't have to follow an unlawful order. Now, before we get into it, I want to validate this so you can hear what they say. Everything they say and what they didn't say, you'll hear from other people. But this is what they said when we watched the video. But before we watch it, I want you to understand that is the backbone of the American military justice system, right? Military men and women do not have to follow an unlawful order. They follow the Constitution, not a man or anybody of that nature. They don't follow the president, they follow the Constitution. The president is the one who gives them order, but if it's unconstitutional, if it's illegal, they are commanded to stand down. They can't do that order. It's the backbone of the American military justice system, right? It lives inside the Uniform Code of Military Justice, which is the UCMJ, and rises most clearly through the Article 90, Article 91, and Article 92. These articles teach a truth every service member must carry like a compass. Only, and this is bolded, only lawful orders carry the weight of obedience. Any unlawful order is a hollow command, void of authority, void of duty, and a soldier is not, and again, bolded, is not allowed to refuse it. It's not only allowed, let me take it back. I fucked up. It's my fault. And the soldier is not only allowed to refuse it, they are obligated to refuse it. So you have the permission, but you're obligated. Now, here's the thing about this being obligated. People messing it up. Military men and women, Donald Trump has immunity. You do not in this situation. So if Donald Trump gives you an unlawful order and you choose to I'm just going to follow my leader. And then we find out, even if the military finds out that you followed an unlawful order, you go into Leavenworth, whatever jail they choose for you to go to and go to trial. Donald Trump is not. That's how the law works. I was just following. That don't matter. That does not matter that you was following his orders. You knew it was unlawful. You have JAG departments in which you can go and find out what is lawful and what is unlawful. It is your responsibility, ma'am. It is your responsibility, sir. Sergeant, lieutenant, military person. It's your responsibility to find out. If it feels funny to you, go ask the JAG. And if the JAG says it's illegal, don't do it. It's just as simple as that. You're ordered. You're obligated to do it. Understand that. This principle shines even brighter when you look at the oath every service member takes. It does not swear loyalty to a man, a rank, or a temporary seat of power. The oath swears loyalty to the Constitution itself. Only to the Constitution itself. That means when a superior steps outside the bounds of law, if you don't know what the laws are, you have JAG and others that you can find out what the laws are. Chain of command in the situation. The authority of their command evaporates. Donald Trump's command evaporates if he gives you an unlawful order. And the Constitution steps in as the true commanding officer. Learn the Constitution. Period. Now, I know my military men and women, you already know it. I ain't trying to admonish you, but the ones that don't know it, the ones who are trying their best to be MAGA underneath this military outfit, just know you will get in trouble. Donald Trump can't protect you when he's out of office. Don't fuck up your own life and all the years you put into the military with some little orange creep. Just saying. American courts and the international community have echoed this truth again and again, from the Nuremberg Principles, which declared that just following orders is no shield of wrongdoing. Let me tell you that again. Look at Dennis, you already knew. The Nuremberg Principle says, which declares that, and I quote, just following orders, unquote, is no shield of wrongdoing. To U.S. military court decisions that reaffirm a service member's duty to stand on the side of the law and morality, even under pressure. You guys are under pressure all the time. You're under pressure when you're risking your lives out there on tours. You know what pressure is. And you understand, no matter what kind of pressure your leader gives you, if it's unlawful, stand down. Go talk to your JAG. I understand it's going to be hard. Nobody's saying it's going to be easy, but that's your oath. Don't put yourself in turmoil and hell for some dude that's trying to. You got to understand something. The man in office right now didn't have the bravery when he was called upon to do what you do. He's Mr. Bone Spurs in chief. I understand he's a president, and not every president's going to serve, or even their family may not even serve. But if that president, no matter whether he served or not, gives you an unlawful order, They're not looking out for you. They're looking out for themselves because they know before they give it to you. They have been told by general upon general that the order that they give you is unlawful. It is your choice to follow through. Just know that. A lawful order must be obeyed. An unlawful order must, I say must, be rejected. And the Constitution, not the commander, decides the difference. Just want you to know. That's what it is. And I understand that military men and women, I'm not speaking to you like you don't know this. I'm speaking to you like, remind yourself of this. Because I understand that power difference and you're afraid not to do whatever. It's your job. It's what you signed up for. And you should know that. And your life is, you're risking your life for the American citizens, your family and all that. How could you turn on your own family? Because you got to think about it. If they're asking you to go after Americans, your family's here. You may not be stationed to do this in a state that you live in, but your mom and dad may be in a state that another platoon or group of people, military people, have to work in. And what happens when they harm your mom and dad while you on a post somewhere else? Huh? Don't do it. Just don't do it. Don't put yourself in a bad situation for this orange creep. That's all I got to say about that. But all of that is said because that is the law. That is the military law in which they live and pledge an oath to for years for many. And this is what military men and women actually said. Or retired military men and women.
I'm Senator Alyssa Slotkin.
Senator Mark Kelly.
Representative Chris Deluzio.
Congresswoman Maggie Goodlander.
Representative Chrissy Houlihan.
Congressman Jason Crow. I was a captain in the United States Navy.
Former CIA officer.
Former Navy.
Former paratrooper and Army Ranger.
Former intelligence officer.
Former Air Force.
We want to speak directly to members of the military
And the intelligence community.
who take risks each day.
To keep Americans safe.
We know you are under enormous stress and pressure right now.
Americans trust their military.
But that trust is at risk.
This administration is pitting our uniformed military
And intelligence community professionals
against American citizens. Like us, you all swore an oath
To protect and defend this Constitution.
Right now, the threats to our Constitution aren't just coming from abroad,
but from right here at home. Our laws are clear. You can refuse illegal orders.
You can refuse illegal orders.
you must refuse illegal orders.
No one has to carry out orders that violate the law.
or our Constitution.
We know this is hard and that it's a difficult time to be a public servant.
But whether you're serving in the CIA,
In the Army,
Our Navy,
The Air Force.
your vigilance is critical
and know that we have your back.
because now, more than ever,
The American people need you.
We need you to stand up for our laws.
our Constitution,
and who we are as Americans. Don't give up.
don't give up.
Don't give up.
Don't give up the ship.
Don't give up the ship. Now, that sounds like men and women that love and respect you, military men and women. That's what that sounds like. That to me sounds like somebody who's been through it and they know that it's going to be hard, but they're looking out for your best interests. They never said, don't follow lawful orders. They literally said, don't follow unlawful orders. And what did we just read from everything? The Nuremberg principles. Just following orders is no excuse. Okay? And an unlawful order, not can be, possibly can be, if the president says so, it is a must be rejected. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Look forward to the rest of your life you're going through hell because you listened to a man that told you to do something that was unlawful. Because he's not going to be there to protect you. Trust me, he does not care about you Ask yourself, what has he done for you? He's already sent some of you guys to cities and states to do absolutely nothing. How many of y'all done went to states riding your horses and riding on other shit and military weapons? In LA, y'all came out here to a black park and just walked around while kids were playing around. Intimidating who? That was your job, to go and do some shit like that? Come on now. You know damn well that wasn't right. And I don't know if it was actually the military in that situation. It could have been another group of people, but I could have sworn they sent the military here too. You know it. And we don't have the crime that strong that we need the military when we got police officers. We got enough police officers out here hurting and killing people and fucking up shit. We don't need some newbies in a country where you aren't trained for. Those cops, there's their job to do, and they ain't trained to do it well. Here it is, you coming in and not knowing how to do it, and you're going to try, you ain't going to do nothing but hurt people. That's all you're going to do. You know it's bad when you can't tell the difference between, and we look at it, American citizens are starting to have problems with respect for military men and women just because they've seen it every day. That's not right. And I'm sure you don't want to have that life. You do this for your purposes, for your individual purposes, for America, your family, and all that. It's not going to be good if America starts disliking their military men and women. It's not going to be good if you're going around and most Americans are looking at you like, can't stand them. That's not going to be good. There are too many people right now that are pissed off that some of you guys are out here doing some things that you shouldn't be doing. And again, it's not always military men and women, but there are some out here. It's got the ICE people out here. You got a few other groups, militia groups to some degree out here, some degree, with actual weapons, manned weapons. For what? Who has that kind of firepower in this country? I mean, I understand some of these like gung-ho people, but you're going after people with no weapons on them. Where do they have these types of weapons? They do not. Anyway, that's what these former military men and women and / astronaut are saying to you. They're loving on you, telling you, hey, we understand what you're going through. It's going to be pressure, but we got your back. We got your six. What has Donald Trump got? Absolutely shit. The moment he asks you to do something illegal, you get caught. He ain't thinking two ounces. Not 1/2 second of his thought will come to thinking about, I wonder how my military people are going. He's going to look at the next military man and woman who didn't get caught, because you understand you get caught, you're a loser to him. He said that about John McCain. And you get caught up in the shit he's asking you to do. I like military men who don't get caught. I told you to do what you do, and you got caught. You're not worthy to him. Now, I understand lawful orders you got to follow. You must follow. Unlawful, if you don't know what they are, go to JAG, go to whomever is your military police may be, or lawyers may be, and figure it out. Don't mess up your life. You don't spend too much and risk your life for us. Last thing you want to do is F up the Constitution and risk your life and your future. All you fought for the Orange Creep. But what happens after this video? You get a post. Which one is this one? I think this is Donald Trump's. Yeah, one of his first posts before he went just ape shit. But this is one of the first posts that he pushed out. This is really bad and dangerous to our country. Their words cannot be allowed to stand. Seditious behavior from traitors. Lock them up. President Donald J. Trump. Lock them up. Looks like you should be locked up, bro. It looks like you should be locked up. But no, you're not locked up. I blame that on Democrats. Merrick Garland, he should have been in jail a long time beforehand, but no. Right? So that's what he said right there. And then after he had some more nonsense to push out there about that along those same lines. In this one, he is wishing death on these people. Seditious behavior, punishable by death. Seditious behavior, punishable by death. That's crazy. So I'm like, let's see what that's all about. But then you get the Democrats, the party itself responding to that. Chuck Schumer ended up calling to get more security for the I think it's 8 maybe, the Democrats who put this out, to get heightened security by them, because when Donald Trump doesn't like people, his nut job people go out and do some crazy shit. He doesn't say, I think he said once before something about people maybe once or twice before about, what happens to people who are traitors, they get killed or whatever. He put another one out, something about they should be hung or some shit like that. I don't have that one. Supposedly there's a hung one too. I didn't see that one. I heard about it. So he's on this little rant of like people should die if they go against him. Now, all of this coming from him being on a major losing spree. He done lost pretty much everything in the past, even his leadership with a bunch of MAGA people. They're on this America First now. They got a blue hat, America First, and I guess that's the new MTG group of people. These people love their products, don't they? They love people to follow. Who can I follow with another? Who can I follow? Can I buy another jacket, hat, cat, whatever? It's just, it's crazy. I don't know. I hope it just stops with the hat, but they're going to have all kinds of shit. When under Donald Trump, they had like fake Donald Trump sperm cells and shit in a bag. I said, what are y'all going to do with that? They were literally buying those. You knew they were slow when you saw that. When I saw him seriously back in the day wearing 2 hats, I was like, you got 2 hats on, not just one of you. There's a plethora of you out here today and at these places, these rallies. And I keep seeing you at the same rally, but different location, different state. Y'all following, you're on tour with the 2 hats. You knew at that point something was fucking wrong with these people. But the Democrats came out with a little something to say about it, the party. And theirs was, Trump just called for death of the Democrat elected officials. Absolute vile. Yes. Is, because that's the same one he had posted before. And then they went on to different stations. They had one that was on MSNBC. One of the people that were in this post. There was one on CNN. The young lady I have from CNN, the video that I'm gonna show. But it gets to a point where you see all these people doing some of the craziest things and saying some of the craziest things over facts. Donald Trump talking about people they're seditious and traitors and should be, put to death and hung and all that shit. And you ask them, you can ask, what did they say that wasn't legal? They remind them of the Nuremberg principles. They reminded them of what their oath is to the Constitution, not to a man or a commander, and that it's not a choice. I mean, you, of course, can make it a choice. You can choose to F your life up, but these are commands. You must, possibly, if it's illegal, you must not do it. If it's legal, you must do it. Simple as that. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You go to a JAG person, you go to a lawyer or some military lawyer, whatever it may be. Sir, is this order lawful? No. Then you must go back into your commander and say, I can't do it. It's illegal. I know it's going to be hard because they're going to be sycophants about it. But if they are supposed to be real military men and women who follow their oath and the Constitution, they too will say, oh, you found out from the lawyer? Yep, illegal. The entire group should say no. That's where I get from it, right? Now, I was never in the military. My brother was, and he understands this the way I'm talking about it. I've done research on it. Other people I know in the military that I spoke to, and I've been speaking to them for a while now because I've been talking about this for well over a year now, I guess. And I've asked multiple people, and I've also looked online and found it myself. It's the way it is. But why on earth these people make it look like that he's saying something, or these people are saying something that's illegal? Again, I don't know where MAGA's fallen on this yet because I haven't looked at any of the stuff they've done. I've been doing a lot of research today. But here is one of the Congress people that were in this, one of the military, ex-military people who were in this video. I think she was like the last one. She was like the youngest one. The woman, I forgot her name right now. He'll say her name here in a second. Let's go ahead and listen to what she had to say.
New Hampshire 2nd Congressional District, Congresswoman Maggie Goodlander. Congresswoman, you're one of the 6 Democrats in that video. I want your reaction to what the White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said in this briefing. Take a listen.
Maggie Goodlander was a naval officer, and notably, she is also the wife of Joe Biden's national security former advisor, Jake Sullivan. And so these members knew what they were doing. That is a very, very dangerous message. And
what's that got to do with anything? Who's she married to? Who you married to? This Stepford wife here? Come on. You're going to bring up her husband like she can't make decisions on her own, like her husband's pulling her like a puppet. It's crazy. Just because Donald Trump bounces you around like a freaking, little balls and shit on a piece of wood, just pop, 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 pop. Donald Trump does it. No, that doesn't mean every woman's built that way. She built different. You built slow. She's built different than you.
And it perhaps is punishable by law.
What's your response, Congresswoman?
Well, Jake, thanks for having me. Look, I never thought that simply and clearly stating federal law would ever cause the President of the United States, the Commander-in-Chief, to threaten violence against me and members of Congress. Look, our message is clear to our service members, and I think it's a really important one in this moment. Our laws are clear. We all take an oath to the same Constitution, and it is our responsibility as the ones who write the laws to be clear about what they say. The Uniform Code of Military Justice is crystal clear on this point. It is the obligation of every service member to obey lawful orders and lawful orders only. And that's our simple and clear message, and it's an important one because there are legitimate concerns that this president is going to issue and has issued unlawful orders to American troops who are operating on American soil. That's just not who we are as a country, and these kinds of threats of violence are not who we are as a country.
So can you give an example of an unlawful order that you think he has issued?
Well, Jake, I think you cited one at the very beginning of this show. We know if we take a look at the track record of the first Trump administration.
Look at the way that Jake Tapper, when she said, you said one at the beginning of the show. Look at his head just turned like, I did? Yeah, you did. Oh, I can't stand this dude. Oh, I can't. I used to like him too. But once he wrote that book, oh, it was a wrap. It was a wrap. I was like, yo, that right there. And the thing that kills me is like, oh, I talk about Trump too. Where's your book at? Where's your book at? You had it all in your heart to write this book about something that you really didn't know anything about. And then you write the book and you go on tour and everybody starts handing you your ass into your hand. And you were like, well, still trying your best. Your tour ended quicker than Donald Trump did with the prostitute.
What we saw, and I served under 3 presidents of different parties, including under President Trump, under 6 separate secretaries of defense. Secretary of Defense Mark Esper was asked to carry out a set of orders that he thought did not comply with the law, was not prepared to support the invocation of the Insurrection Act. He was not prepared to carry out an order to send American troops on peaceful protesters. And look, this is a basic set of judgments, and it's a core American and constitutional principle. Public trust is essential to public safety and to our national security. And the public and our service members who have been put in an impossible situation right now need to know that Congress has got their back. It's what I would want to hear if I were still serving in the Navy. And that is our simple and clear message.
So you served as an intelligence officer in the Navy Reserve for more than a decade. Did you ever get an order that you thought was illegal?
Jake, I did not. And look, we are in new terrain here. We see a President of the United States and a Secretary of Defense who are testing the boundaries of the basic and core principles of our Constitution. When Secretary Hegseth appeared before the House Armed Services Committee, I asked him a very simple question, a question that has only one right answer. I asked him if he would obey a decision of the United States Supreme Court. He refused to commit to doing so. This is stunning, this is downright dangerous, and that is the brave new world that we're all living through. But our commitment to our service members and to our Constitution is clear, and that is, we will not give up the ship.
At this point, I think we're all familiar with the term stochastic terrorism, but just in case people out there don't know, it's when somebody in power or with a megaphone starts criticizing somebody else, and there is violence committed against that person, and it can't be directly tied to the calls for violence or criticism, but it is related. Senate Democratic Leader Schumer says that he has called Capitol Police to give extra protection to Democrats after Trump's remarks. Are you worried about your safety?
Jake, it's hard not to be when the President of the United States threatens you with violence, but the bottom line is this is not about me. This is not about any other member of Congress. This is about our commitment to the Constitution, and it's about a clear statement of federal law. This is a moment for moral clarity and for legal clarity, and that is what we're doing here. Our service members need to know that we've got their back. We've got their back as they uphold their oath, their sacred obligation to our Constitution, and as they uphold their basic obligation to comply with federal law. And the federal law is clear. Lawful orders are to be obeyed, and only lawful orders are to be obeyed.
That's it. That's it. Lawful orders are to be obeyed, and only lawful orders are supposed to be obeyed. Point blank, period. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And, you know, I understand the job of a media person is to kind of like ride that line, sometimes ride that fence, but we all know that Donald Trump and Kash Patel, Kakai Kash Patel, Crypt Keeper, Pam Bondi, and Todd Blanche, blockhead Todd Blanche, you know they've all broken the laws. They've all done things that they weren't supposed to be doing. At least, at the very least, they've lied about a lot of things that they've come to, even the House, which lying to the House or the Senate is in an offense of itself. You can literally get jail time for it. Excuse me. And so I remember when James Comey, right? Yeah, James Comey, I think, yeah, and Jim Comer or whatever. Not Comey, Comer. And Jim Jordan were doing the investigation leading up for Joe Biden, Hunter Biden, Joe Biden's son. They were trying their best to catch him or anybody around him in a lie and say that they lied to Congress, and that's an offense that you can be charged with and go to jail with. So, and at least, and also have fines with. And they were doing their best to make that happen for him and anybody who defended him, his friend who came forward, all of that. And so these people have come in and have lied, have obfuscated, asked them straight questions. What she was talking about, she asked, Pete Hegseth, had he ever been given an order that's illegal to do or whatever, and would he let anybody know that he did certain things? Had he ever been given an order to do so, and had he actually produced anything like that, continue to do anything that's unlawful? And he couldn't answer. The answer should have been no. Of course not. Why would the president do something illegal? That should be it. They never have faith, or better yet, they can never tell you the truth. They get offended. Pam Bondi was asked a question by many, but I remember she was asked a question about Michael Wolff's assertion that he saw the many pictures, but described at least one of Donald Trump around girls who were scantily. I haven't heard it from him. I remember him saying it was just like girls who were like scantily, whatever. He's talking about he didn't say they were naked. I don't know if they was in bathing suits or whatever, but he was making it seem like it was a sexual type of thing. And Donald Trump's pants were wet and they were laughing. And this was the story that Jeffrey Epstein was telling him, that he had shit on Donald Trump. And he kept it in his safe. Why couldn't she, if this is true to what he says, when the guy asked her, was these pictures found amongst the evidence? And she could not say, no, I never seen it like that. She got offended. Oh my God, you're trying to, talk about Donald Trump and discredit Donald Trump. He's like, I just asked you a question. Are they there or not? There's a witness that says they saw them. Did you find them? Did you get stuff out of the safe? Were they there? And she was offended. I'm like, why get offended? Your job is not to be Donald Trump's sycophant. Your job is to bring information, good, bad, or indifferent, about everybody, even the president, for the American people. It's American people that pay you. You're not on Donald Trump's payroll. You're on our payroll. And you're loyal to the Constitution, not Trump. And it's so tripped how these people have no clue of what loyal to the Constitution means. I guarantee you none of them know what the Constitution stands for. I'm venturing out to say none of them actually know the Constitution. I guarantee you that Caroline Levitt's never read it. I guarantee you Pete Hegseth hasn't a clue. The last time he read it, he probably had to read it in the military. And I guarantee you couldn't recite any of it right this second. Because if they could recite it and know what it is, then they would know when they're breaking laws or what the Constitution tells them they can and cannot do. But they're still doing it. Like them bombing these people in boats, the number skyrocketing. It's like 80-something people or something, late 70s, 80-something people that they've killed. They have not justified any of it. No reasoning for killing the people. And I heard they just sent over bombers and shit like that over to Venezuela. We're about to get into a war without the House funding it. How is he doing this? Where's the money coming from? I thought you was trying to save money and you trying to get us into a war? Venezuela is one country, but they have allies. And you think those allies are just going to allow you to bomb them without them getting in on it? So you're going to start a war with us and possibly their allies for what? American people have no clue. Our House and Senate have no idea what the fuck you're doing. How the hell is this legal? We don't have a threat. And if they knew of a threat, an imminent threat on American citizens in American soil, that information must be given to the House and Senate so they know how this country's running. They should not be in the dark. And the House and Senate are in the dark about this. So how is this legal? How is this constitutional? It's not. My last question about that is, then how is he still president? We got Nixon out for doing 1/100th of what he's done. Nixon was asked to leave. Have you no decency, sir? That was a Republican that said that about him. Where is our have you no decency, Trump, Republican at now? Is it going to take Marjorie Taylor Greene to get you men to realize that you need to grow a pair and defend the country and the Constitution over this orange shit? History is watching. You may not think nothing about history now, but you've laid your seed, and your kids and your grandkids and your great-grandkids, they're going to be ashamed of what you stood for. Your legacy will be, when people mention your name, I don't know who that is, and I don't care. As opposed to, oh, we loved him. He was a great this or that. We loved her. No. They were a shit stain on America that we want to forget. That's your legacy. You guys keep forgetting you can't take money with you. Can't take any of this with you. But what you leave behind, your legacy, will determine whether people remember you or soon will forget you. And if they forget you, they forget your entire lineage. Just saying. Now, here goes my Doge check. No more Doge for you. I got one last video that I want to share with y'all. And this video is, and I know you're going to have a pain watching it. I'm sorry in advance. It's not Trump. It's Sean Hannity. Yes, I know. Trust me, it gives me a headache. That's why I'm rubbing my temple now so I can get ready for this little shrilly voiced ass dude. Gets on my nerves. But he has tied, Blockhead Blanche on. And if you haven't seen this, the mental gymnastics, tomfoolery, dumbassery that this man spews, both of these men. How do people watch Fox, dude? I could not watch Fox, man. My head would explode. Just the shit that they try to get people to believe, and you're sitting here like, you taking this shit in and actually thinking this shit is good? You'll see. Whereas they talk as if January 6th never happened. It's mind-boggling, but let's listen to it.
The Deputy Attorney General of the United States, Todd Blanche, is with us. You're number 2 at the DOJ, Todd. You're doing a great job. Thank you. Thank you for being with us.
No, it's not.
Please shed light, because I found that extremely alarming.
I hope you found it alarming, and so did I, and so did hopefully every American. You had members of Congress, members of the Senate, encouraging members of our military and members of our intelligence community to go and defy orders. And by the way, there is nothing illegal about what we are doing. There is nothing illegal about what President Trump is doing every single day. To the contrary.
Okay, if it's not illegal, then shut the fuck up. They didn't tell them to not follow legal orders. They said don't follow illegal orders. So your response, if it was really legitimate, which it's not, you would say, I'm totally fine with what they said. Nothing we're doing is illegal. It is true. You should not follow illegal orders. What do they think that we've done that's illegal? Everything we've done is above board. Check it out yourself. But the uproar of, they told them not to follow legal orders, and they start changing around legal orders and other terms. They told them not to follow the law, and they told them not to follow this, that, and the third. It's like, the fuck are you talking about? They didn't say none of that shit. If you don't believe it to be illegal, then what they said is 100% right. They should follow the stuff that you're asking them to do because it's not illegal. But if it is, they shouldn't. How you disagree with the rules of the Constitution and the military? How you going to disagree with that?
He's doing exactly what he said he would do when he won a year ago. And this is abhorrent conduct. I felt like I was watching a propaganda video by one of our enemies trying to recruit the military to become spies. When you see what these men and women were saying about this administration, about this president, and you ask whether what they
didn't say shit about the president. That video that you guys showed said nothing about the president. It literally said, don't follow unlawful orders. That is the law. And that is military rules and regulations. That is the Constitution. They're just reminding them, don't forget the Nuremberg principles, in which if you follow it, these assholes are not going to support you. You will go to jail. Just saying.
did is a crime? I mean, you tell me what it is. You tell me what it is. I mean, what is the value? What is the reason for saying what they said, except for to encourage members of our military, to encourage members of our intelligence community to defy a direct command from their superior, and that is wrong.
An illegal command from their superior, and that is right. Legal, they even said, to follow. Illegal, not to. They told you the truth. You're butthurt because they reminded the military while you were trying to brainwash them into doing what you want to do. All this is because the Democrats are literally on their game, and the military Democrats are on their game in realizing that some of these, and they didn't say always on their game, it's just like they're just coming off the top of the dome just saying, oh, we see it. No, it is military men and women who have been asking. If you ask them, military men and women have been asking them what they're supposed to do. They're on the fence. They don't know what to do. They see stuff that's unlawful and they don't know whether to follow it or not follow it. They're confused and they're asking their leaders. So them getting enough calls, these people in the House or Senate, getting enough calls from these military people asking about this question about what I can do, they decided to come together and reaffirm to them all at once, instead of getting 50 calls and having to call them back. But hey, I'm gonna write you a letter in about 3 weeks. I'm gonna write you a letter in 3 weeks. No, you can't do it. You can't do it if it's illegal. You can't do it if it's illegal. Put out one video, all of you who are getting this information, so that they can all see it. There's nothing wrong with giving these people the information that they're asking for in video form and push it out to the world. Well, I'm pretty sure they just did the United States. Push it out to the entire United States so you can stop calling and asking the question. Because there it is. There's nothing wrong with that. Everything right with that. And they're pissed off because it is deprogramming these people that they've been trying to program into baby Nazis. Deprogramming, they're pissed off about. It's something wrong with you trying to get them to follow the law.
Your resume as an attorney and your background and experience lends me to believe that you know the answer to the question you're asking me.
He's leading. He's trying to gas this dude up. You are so great at what you do. And it leads me to believe that I'm about to tell you something that I want you to regurgitate and say back to me, because my orange princess told me to get this out of you tonight. What I think that you already know, and I'm on the same plane of what you're about to say, is exactly about what the fuck I'm about to say. Now say it. And he doesn't bite.
Number 2 at the DOJ, does this need to be investigated? And what would the investigation be under?
Well, the investigation would absolutely be under what their intent was in saying this. And the question, we've all watched this a lot today, and the question you have to ask yourself is, what is their intent? What is the reason that they all went on a video and encouraged young men and women to defy court orders?
They did not do that. And he's a lawyer, he knows. And then on top of that, the lie part is they're not court orders. The military orders. It's not court ordered. There's no judge in it. He's literally trying to blend two aspects. Him being a lawyer dealing with a judge, and them giving court orders and saying that a president is basically a court order. It's not. It's not the same thing. Not at all. But no leader in power can tell you to break the Constitution and force you to do it. It's illegal to do that against the Constitution. And this dude's like, oh my God, we've been working so hard to get these people to break the laws for us like they did on January 6th. We set them free. We're programming them, and then you go out to fuck it up and throw a kink in it? How dare you? You need to die for this. Because we're trying so hard to fuck their brains up and get them to do what we want to do. And you're not only am I losing all over the place, now you're trying to tell my brainwashed military people that they don't have to be brainwashed. I got to start back over if this thing takes over. If it becomes a hit, I got to start back over. That's basically what he's saying. He knows this is absolutely right what they did. Nothing wrong. Only person that would even argue this point is somebody who got caught trying to program military people to break laws and break the Constitution and try to make Donald Trump the Constitution. Therefore, you got to follow Trump, the Constitution, not the actual Constitution.
Without even giving a hint of what's illegal, without even giving any suggestion of what law or what order they're being asked to violate.
That's the point. They're just saying whatever's illegal. They even say in a person when you're talking to them, they're the ones who point it to JAG or go to a lawyer and find out if an order is lawful, the military lawyer, whether it's lawful or if it's illegal. They literally say this. So this right here is disingenuous at best, a complete outright lie at worst. And look at his face. He's looking into the camera to the American people, lying through his teeth and concerned, like, I'm worried about you, Americans. Oh my God, this is just, and I'm like, how do you have this like face like you care about somebody when right behind this face is a devil that knows he's lying, that knows that his job is to sucker the people on the other side of Fox into believing in the bullshit and don't give them the truth because the bullshit keeps me paid. The bullshit keeps me in power. And I got to get you to believe in the bullshit. I got to look painful when bullshit comes. How could you ever trust this dude in anything in life? Him telling his wife he loves her. This dude telling us he got kids. Baby, I love you. How can you trust anything he says when you see your husband, you see your son, you see your father on TV lying with no issue whatsoever? You couldn't trust this dude at all. His entire family can't trust him. How can you look somebody in the eye and literally act like you care while telling them fuck off at the same time? That takes a certain type of demonic skill to do.
You cannot do that in this country, especially if you're a leader. And so what does the investigation look like? I think they should be held to account. I think that those congressmen should be required to answer questions and to answer questions about why they did what they did. And the American people deserve that, and so does President Trump.
Deputy Attorney General, let me put back on the screen, if I may, 18 U.S. Code 2383, and I will go over it one more time.
Oh, I can't wait for this one. This one right here, dude, is the super height of hypocrisy. Oh my God. What they just did is not this. What January 6 people did is this. What Donald Trump did is this.
We'll put it up on the screen. It says, whoever incites, sets on foot, assists, or engages in any rebellion or insurrection against the authority of the United States or the laws thereof, or gives aid or comfort thereto, shall be fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 10 years or both, and shall be incapable of holding any office under the United States. Do you suspect these 6 lawmakers are guilty of this?
Look, I don't.
Nope. As soon as you start off, look, I don't. No, they're not. Lawfully, he knows that is a huge fucking stretch. That's why he's not going to agree to it. Right? But who is guilty of that? That would be Donald Trump in droves. That would be Roger Stone in droves. That would be Matt Gaetz in droves. That would be Josh Hawley in droves. That would be Rudy Giuliani in droves. That would be lawyers who defended this, some who pleaded guilty, and I think in Georgia, and others who got out of it just because of Donald Trump. I guess I haven't seen them in a while deal with this. That would be all of them. Those lawyers who went around talking about certain things like, oh, you know, we were just going out and having 61, you know, trials for no reason. Those people in droves. It would be those same people who had those fake electorates and pretended like they were the real electorates and tried to get there before the electorates were there, but the electorates already turned their shit in. But if they had gotten there before the electorates, then they would have pretended to be those. And even those people, again, in droves, they were prosecuted. Many of them went to jail over that. Donald Trump should be in jail for that. And they're out here talking about somebody who says, follow the laws, military men and women. Keep in mind, you need to follow the laws. You're beholden to the Constitution, not to a man. Nuremberg principles, right? All the different things that were explained when you first became a military man or woman. You know, Article 90, Article 91, Article 92. All these things you are to uphold, not Donald Trump. And they find, don't follow Donald Trump if he's telling you to break the law. Which law is it? That's the point. It doesn't have to be a specific law right now. It's any law. The question for the reason they're doing it is to say, if you find it to be illegal and you talk to a lawyer and it's illegal, as a military man or woman, you don't have to do it. Matter of fact, you mustn't do it. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts. Once you find it's illegal, you have to say no. If not, you can be charged. Simple as that. And they're pissed off that you're giving them an out, that you're giving these military men and women an out. Now they have leaders saying they have to do it. Right now they've been, you know, toiling amongst themselves, probably in their barracks, wherever they're at, wondering like, should we do it? Should we not do it? Are we supposed to do it? Or are we not supposed to do it? I don't know. Let me reach out. And everybody wants to know because they're listening to Donald Trump and his minions telling them one thing, Pete Hegseth telling them one thing, and then they're asking treasured, retired military men and women who they trust and honored, that have respect amongst other military people. The people who were training them were trained by these retired people whom they love and respect, and they get counseled by them, and they're saying, do not do it. They have more power than Donald Trump, and that's what pisses him off, because these people respect people who've been in the service, and the only ones that respect Donald Trump are these sycophants in our military who are white nationalists. All the rest of them are looking up to their previous, you know, generals and senior officers. They're not listening to Donald Trump with breaking laws. They're listening to him with lawful orders. And now they have to decipher what those are. And they're worried about what they've put into this damn military and if it's going to get fucked up over this dipshit, this orange dipshit. And they just validated these military men and women, and I'm sure it's a lot of them that were questioning it. And now they know that the government, military, the ex-military, that the House and the Senate of Democrats got their backs. Now they can say no. And that's pissing them off. It's seditious to tell them that they can say no to me. No, it's not. It's lawful. It's the Constitution that they can say it. They must say no to you. That hurts them. That hurts them in their regime trying to change and turn into a dictatorship. That gets the military men and women divided, in which it weakens the military toward the American people. Meaning like they want them to come after us whenever they decide to be Donald Trump's army, not the American people's army. That's not how it runs. At least not supposed to. So I applaud these men and women, not only for their service, but the service they have right now, serving our military men and women who need counsel. They literally stood up, put their necks out against this dictator wannabe and his dipshit clan, and put their lives on the line and put themselves in the line of fire of these dipshit MAGA people out here trying to unalive people because they're too wussy to fucking stand up for themselves. They literally got to take out any opposition because they can't match toe to toe intellectually with anybody. That's why they got to resort to weapons and so forth. So these men and women are heroes standing up again, putting their life on the line again for the Constitution and for military men and women. They could have shut up. They could have sat back. Instead, they put their life on the line once again to save America and its democracy. Kudos to them. And fuck this dude, blockhead bastard.
I'm not convicting anybody tonight on this show, but I will tell you something, and that is this is a disgusting and inappropriate display of supposed leadership from the Democrat Party. These men and women should not have described themselves as former members of the military or former members of the intelligence community.
Why not? They served. They describe who the hell. You probably can't serve. If you didn't serve, shut the fuck up. You don't tell them what they can and cannot do. If they don't been on tour and they don't serve, I don't care if they just went out and fed people in the military. I don't give a shit. They were in the service. If you were not in it, shut the fuck up. You're going to tell them that their service should not be used? I mean, didn't we talk about John McCain's service all the fucking time and everything that he did, even against shit that I didn't even care for him to be in? Didn't we talk about that? Even Donald Trump talked about his service. I don't like people who get caught. And you're going to tell them they can't tell about their service? Get out of here, man. Shut the fuck up.
They should have described themselves as Democrats who lost and Democrats who don't like the result of last November, because there is no laws being violated. There are no orders that are being given that are unconstitutional. Or
Democrats won, bro. They lost the presidency. You guys just got your ass handed to you by far. And then, was it today or yesterday? Even Texas turned you down for redistricting. You just got to do that to get an extra, 5 seats or whatever it was? They just turned it down. Now, they may overturn it, but so far they turned it down. You just received a loss this week, bro. All you've been receiving is just L's, like huge L's all fucking week. And you're talking about the Democrats' loss? Again, reminds me of the Democrats is they always go back, not Democrats, even Democrats do it too, I'm pretty sure, but the Republicans, you guys always go back to, I don't know how long before you don't have like instant wins or any wins like this week. You go back. Remember when we won 9 months ago? And then when you talk about with black people, black people, remember when we helped you guys get freed? I'm like, bitch, that was 1865. You got to go that far back to say what you did something for black people? You need to shut the fuck up. 1865? Please. And if anybody knows their history, they know that Abraham Lincoln didn't even want us to be free in this country. It was Frederick Douglass and the abolitionists is the reason why we're free here, because they leveraged him. If they didn't have no leverage on Abraham Lincoln, we would be free in Liberia. So get your history straight, please. I give credit where credit is due. He signed it. The actual bill, Emancipation Proclamation. He signed all that stuff, but that's because a black man, along with white abolitionists, forced him, leveraged him. And what Abraham Lincoln, but Frederick Douglass did was leverage black bodies. He said, I'll get the black bodies if you set us free in the country that we died and lived and died in. And that was what he ended up doing. That wasn't his first resort. That was Abraham Lincoln's last resort. Because if he didn't get that, the North would have more likely lost. Yeah. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. So when people like this say, you know, they always talk about what they done did and people done won and lost. I'm like, man, I understand you won the presidency in the House and the Senate. I get you. You won on that. But that wasn't the last thing we've done. We just beat your ass in the governor's race. Whooped you. And then California, we voted so that we can have a redistricting. And you guys wanted to get your Texas, and it just got handed to you. Hell no. For now, at least. So, yeah, as of today, you guys are big L's. Future, we don't know what's up.
Illegal. And the fact that these folks came out and encouraged our young men and women who are all, many of them armed, to defy court orders is something that we have to take a very close look at. And I promise you, Sean, that we will.
And can I interpret that, sir, to mean that there's an investigation underway?
No.
Look, we don't, Sean, you know, we don't talk about investigations, but
you got to give me A+ for trying, Todd. I'm trying, but I understand you can't.
You got to give me credit for trying to force you to say something that Donald Trump told me to get you to say. I'm trying. It kills me how these people are trying all the time to lie, to make news, not report it. You understand news is reported on. You don't go out to make news. You report on what happens. If you're going out there making shit, it's not news. That's called a production. That's called television. That's called film. That's not called news. News is recording life shit that happens that's not prompted, that's not recorded, that's something that you see it happening, you go report on it. You don't call up and be like, yeah, bring the dogs and the cats and yeah, to make it rain. Yeah, put that rain machine up and then, you know, we're going to do this thing and we're going to throw that cat in the tree. We're going to get a fireman to come over and look up and the kid, you start crying that your cat's in the tree. And then I'm going to come around and then you're going to throw some water on me and shit so I look all glistening and I chisel chin. And that's a production. That's not news. They produce shit. It's not news. Asking people leading questions is like making that movie. Asking him, can I say that this is going to be an investigation? No. Because we don't talk about investigations. You and Donald Trump and Pam Bondi like to say that shit on tweets. But we can't do that. Even though this dude put out a tweet too. It's crazy. Did you guys ever think in your lifetime that we would literally be receiving actual news information directly from Twitter and Truth and Post? People getting hired and announced on social media and not announced in front of America on some news channel or something to that nature where everybody takes it. Country's so divided. I remember a time when, even if I didn't like the president, that was our president, and I would turn on the news or whatever channel he or she was on, and every station would have that dude talking. I remember back when I was little and, you know, watching a big ass TV screen, watching whatever it was. Teenager, I was watching Reagan and others. And when I was a little child, it was, I want to say it was Jimmy Carter. And watching in the 90s, if you turn on the TV, no matter what news you were on, whatever channel you was on, if the president was speaking, everybody had it. Republicans, Democrats alike, everybody had that and held that from beginning to end. And everybody would have a conversation about it afterwards. And it's gotten to the point that Republicans or Republican presidents like Trump will get on and speak for an hour and a half and shit about absolutely nothing. And it'll be hard as hell to watch that for fucking 900 hours. And then you get, you know, like with Biden, you get motivated, you know, for a Democrat, that is. And you're like, okay, you listen to it. Some of the things you don't agree with, but you know, say, okay, whatever. But you still kind of watch it. But then you get Republicans getting excited too, I'm sure, for their guy. But he's talking about nothing to help them out. We did this, we did this, we did this. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. We're going to get health care. That was 9 years ago. No, you didn't. You're still promising shit that you never deliver on. And they today gaslit the entire, tried to at least, the entire country on military men and women, retired that is, explaining to military men and women who are in doing service right now, to remind them to look at articles, 90, 91, 92, to look at the Nuremberg, principles, to understand that as a person there in the military, you pledge to the Constitution, not to a man. And they did it, if you listen to them while they did it, because a lot of military men and women were worried about it. And they were calling their senators and representatives and saying, what do we do about it? And they made a video instead of sending out 3,000 letters a day. And you think that is worth being unalived to tell military men and women exactly what they've been asking for. Give them an answer. Tell them the solution to the problem they have been calling about. And if these military men and women have been calling about it, you have to understand they know there are things they've been asked to do that they found to be highly illegal by Pete Hegseth or whomever, and they don't know what to do. So I'm not sure, but I got a feeling there's going to be, and this is what Trump and these minions are worried about, there's going to be a little groundswell of military men and women saying no to unlawful orders. And that's what they're worried about. And Democrats, kudos for actually doing this, because again, it's a way to fight that's got these people on the ropes. They would not be out here on every channel, Fox and other shit, CNN, and talking about this if this did not get under the skin of Donald Trump. And it got under his skin to send out this blockhead dude to be able to talk to Sean Hannity. Donald Trump sent him to Sean Hannity to get it out there. All right? Todd Blanche is out here only because Donald Trump feels threatened. He's been losing left and right, and he needs somebody to fight and win for him. And this right here was a sorry-ass attempt to win at something. He had Caroline Leavitt to come out and try, and this is just wrong. Telling them to not follow illegal orders. Well, he said they were talking about, you can't follow. It's just wrong to tell her not to use. She said something like it's wrong to not follow legal orders. And one of the ladies in the audience said they didn't say that. They said illegal orders. Well, you know what I'm talking about. No, we don't. We really don't, because you're making shit up is what we're talking about. And then they get offended and they want to leave. So these people, right, then it's MAGAteers, these people not following the laws, consistently acting like, they're the victims. It's like, dude, them telling the military people to follow the law is the most American thing they could do. It's not seditious. It's not traitorous. It does not deserve anything. It's not an insurrection. These people have no idea what an insurrection is. They see January 6th and they want to call this an insurrection. That's what Sean Hannity just said. Made it a huge deal. Over what? Not following the orders of someone who tells them to break the law. And again, they did not say what law. They didn't say that they actually broke a law right now. They just see how you working. And they want you to not, these military men and women, to protect the military men and women, to protect themselves, so they know Donald Trump won't have their back. And because of the Nuremberg principles, Donald Trump can't save you. Can't save you until after you go through, I guess, court. I don't know about whether he can pardon you or whatever, but in order to pardon you, you gotta admit you broke the law. And I think it still stays on your record. So you're willing to get something put on your record for this orange crap. It's crazy. Thank you for the donation, DJ. I appreciate you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you know what it is. Excuse me. We do this every day, Monday through Friday. If you enjoy the show, please help the show grow. I'm almost done. I still ain't gonna start till the beginning of the year, but I got some of my Avid Solutionist stuff, so still building it. Looking forward to offering solutions to people. It's an amazing thing. I was just out with my daughter today, kind of explaining to her what it's all about. Might end up bringing her on the show sometimes, just to chit chat in between information and stuff like that. You know, young people have solutions too, and going through things that we don't know about. And we may have already went through, but we may not know what our kids are going through. So it'll be another, aspect to it. I told you before, I solve ecosystems. So if you look at, let me go back up a little bit. I got some of the design of what I got so far. The hats have the logo on the front, which is just a colorful light bulb as far as like ideas and things of that nature. Then you have the jerseys. I do jerseys, but this is actually gonna have the hoodie, Avid Solutionist, right? And the thing I like about the back is I wanted to be able to, for myself and others, if they want to have it, is that I thought about the fact that, we don't know exactly what people can do to help, right? And I always look at it as like when I'm out and about, people don't know what I do. And, you may want to keep that to yourself, but you don't have to put this on the back if you want. These are all self-designed. You can put whatever you want on the back if you buy one. Once it's ready. It's not ready yet. I'm still going through the process. But you can design the back. In the back, it says, I solve. And what I solve is ecosystems. You can put whatever you want as far as like if you solve computer systems, if you solve, mental health or try things that you work on, whatever it is, you can put it on there yourself, and therefore people know what kind of a solver you are, and therefore know what to ask you for. We've become, I believe, if I do this right, and it becomes this house or this home of people who solve, then I can ask you questions about certain things that I know you know how to do. And therefore, and some things you may have that you may not have on your back, but it gives us some kind of camaraderie, a community of people that we understand. If you're a plumber, if you're a technician, if you're an ambulance driver, whatever it may be, you give advice about health, I know to ask you. And I know from that front logo that you are a valid person to ask from, because what we do, what I plan on doing with this is keep record of all the things that we've solved or helped people solve, and the testimonies, because that way there's a place to go where people care and actually have good results. And even if we fail, that's not a problem. The problem is that we don't tweak it and fix it. That's the problem. But we're gonna fail sometimes. We're human, but we fail forward. So that's what I love about it. I knew when I grew up, I was always looking for, when the industry I was in, looking for that mentor, looking for advice about certain things that I didn't know. When I came out of the entertainment industry and I was young, nobody would help me understand certain things. I mean, because it was just like hoarding shit. It's mine, it's mine, it's mine. Nobody would help me. And so I had to learn many years later, like, what if you're in the entertainment industry, what do the trades do for you? I mean, it tells you all this information, but what do you do with that information? It just seemed like it's a magazine of nothing. Well, when I found out, I started sharing with people, and people's lives started to change because then they started to see what you can do with it, and why it's really there. It's not there just for show. It's there for connections if you know how to use it. And it took me years. Nobody taught me that. So the things that I do and others that have come into my life, it seems small to you, but it's a world of a difference to someone who may be young and don't have that parent or that cousin or that learned uncle to help them. And again, I believe we are here for each other. It's a we thing, not a me thing. I help people that are not just in my family. I speak out like I do because I want to help as many people as my voice would travel. And those people, if I've helped you, hopefully you pay it forward. That's how we become a better country, a better nation, a better world. And I want to be a part of that. And so that's what Avid Solutions is all about. So we're going to be doing that. All right. Thank you, Vera. We're already home. We thank you for that. Oh, you're welcome, John Brown. You guys are awesome people. I know some of you from other places. And here, it's an amazing thing. I hope you guys have a good night. I'll see you on Friday. Thank you guys for being members and being a part of this family. And I can't wait to start the Avid Solutionist so that we can talk about the problems here and solve things over there. And when I talk about solving ecosystems, I'm talking about solving everything that we have major issues with. I am a firm believer that if we can put people on the moon, or at least attempt to put people in the sky and don't come back down crashing and dying. Some of these ships have exploded, I get it. But we tried and tried until we got it done. Then why can't we solve the world problems that we have? We can. We just don't have the people who give a damn to do it. And so I think of the system and how it can be tweaked so that everybody benefits from it. A win-win. And it can all happen. And I'll explain all that stuff on the show. But anyway, I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good night. Much love to y'all. You know what's up. Oh, you want me to say it? Let me get this real quick before I say it. All right. Clear my throat. Let me clear my throat. I love this because what? I speak facts. Straight facts, no chaser. Fuck your feelings.